November is soon coming to a close. With that comes the month of December. Today we will be discussing sneakers to resell in the month of December. If you're not into reselling, that is okay as well. You could use this guide to know what are going to be the most hype sneakers, the most limited, or even the most popular general releases that may potentially go on sale because, hey, we're all trying to save some money. Specifically, we'll be discussing the name of the sneaker, the retail, the release date, and whether the sneaker will be profitable or not, or they may even sit on shelves, resulting in a sale price. Feel free to subscribe and enable post notifications. This way you stay 100% updated on all these profitable releases. Also, be sure to follow my Twitter for any urgent updates and info, such as the recent Cool Gray 11 shock drop and even the Jordan 4 Lightning shock drop this morning, Keith Adam 10, and also personals for you. Buckle up because this is the best month of the entire year. Kicking it off today, we have the Adidas Forum Low Home Alone dropping on December 1st for $110. If you have seen the movie, you'll know that this was the same color Adidas Forum that the main character wore in the original film, hence they've done a unique spin on it. There actually appears to be a pretty decent amount of demand on these, but most importantly, the retail is very low, which allows for easy profit with a good margin. Also keep in mind that Adidas allows free returns, so there's absolutely no risk here, just like on Nike and sneakers. Also on the 1st, but for Europe only, the Nike Huarache Liverpool will be dropping for €130. Although pre-sale is very high at the moment, I do not expect demand for these to hold up sufficiently for there to be any resale, so personal only at the moment. Moving on to the second for a whopping $450 each, we have the black and white Air Force One Swarovski Reflective Crystals. Now, although pre-sale from the early access looks pretty decent right now, the bids do not look steady at all, and there are hardly any sales at all. With a retail of $450 after seller fees, I'm really skeptical of these, especially after what we saw for the initial performance of the Air Max 97 and what they're still at now. Overall, I'd say these are mostly just a personal, unfortunately, unless you do have local buyers where you could avoid those seller fees. Then on December 3rd, we have the full drop including Nike sneakers for the Jordan 1 A Ma Maniere for $200. We already saw the A Ma Maniere exclusive drop, which was a massive manual cookout. Shout out to everyone who copped off the Twitter link and used the tips in my YouTube video. Remember, Twitter is Keith Adam 10, so feel free to follow me there. Of course, these will certainly be very profitable with an incredible margin. If you want a full in-depth analysis, feel free to watch my recent seller hold video. Now, prior to moving on to the rest of December releases, I do have two very exciting announcements for you guys who have been patiently waiting. First of all, after an extremely successful month once again on both sneakers and retail, along with the addition of tops and two big modules that we have not yet announced, Gargantua AIO will be having a monthly key restock on December 5th, next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time via the Gargantua AIO Twitter. The price is only $49.99 for 1 month. Keys cannot be renewed. However, users who do tweet out their success can enter into a competition to earn their renewal keys. Make sure you are following the Twitter. Regarding the second announcement though, Endurance will finally be restocking on December 3rd, Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 11:30 p.m. CET. Link and password will be tweeted from the Endurance Twitter. Endurance is a group to help you fully exploit the secondary market, but what makes Endurance so different though? To start off, Endurance offers numerous softwares completely free for all members to help them exploit drops. All members have access to a location spoofer to help them exploit sneakers stashes, sneakers passes, frenzy drops, etc. All members have access to an autofill tool with auto checkout and auto add to cart to destroy drops and restocks even if they don't have a bot. All members have access to a custom queue bot to help them efficiently pass waiting rooms on sites like Adidas, Finish Line, Mesh, Snipes, and even has a cookie feature for efficiently passing queue on Yeezy supply. And for any botters, we also offer free software to help you guys out as well. For example, this could turn a one-click Gmail, profile converter, account gen, and much more, and even cheap in-house residential proxies available 24/7 for the most reliable providers. But that's not the end of it. We love innovation, and we're always developing new things to separate us from others. Then, of course, we have amazing relationships with a number of elite commercial bots for group buys that members actually want. My personal favorite, though, above all, Nike sneakers earlier, but for shock drops, scratches, AR hunts, sneaker stashes on hyped releases, you name it. Now, out of all the cookouts recently, I'd say my favorite has to, of course, be the ICA Sneaker Stash Cookout, along with many other shock drops that we've cooked. Members were prepared weeks in advance, as always, and trained with our custom free-coded spoofer. And the success really does speak for itself. So again, the Endurance restock will be on December 3rd, Friday, at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 11:30 p.m. CET. The link and password will be tweeted from Endurance's Twitter, so mark your calendars, set your alarms. And of course, don't forget to follow Gargantua _AIO on Twitter for the restock as well on December 5th, next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Moving on, also on December 3rd, we have the Yeezy Quantum Amber Tint dropping for $250. Unfortunately, just like all Quantums, this is a personal only. There's really no demand for the Quantums. In fact, you might even be able to get these for under retail in the secondary market. Don't worry, guys. The month starts off somewhat slow, but once we get towards the middle of it, you'll realize this is certainly the best month of the year, so be patient. I got you. Then on December 4th, for $200, the delayed Jordan 1 Gore-Tex is finally going to be dropping. In addition to the higher than usual retail, unfortunately, demand is not very high at all. At best, you may be able to make some profit selling these locally, otherwise they're mainly just a personal pair. Regardless, I do expect them to sell out, so if you do want a personal for yourself, don't sleep. Also on the 4th for $200, we have the Yeezy 500 Ash Gray dropping. Similar to the recent 500s that we have been seeing, the demand isn't very high on these in particular, and the stock will most likely be relatively high too. I do expect some potential for lunch money on sizes under 8, but with a subpar margin, nothing crazy. Regardless though, that is still an easy money opportunity, so be sure to look out for these. Then on the 6th for $220, the Yeezy Compact Slate Blue will be dropping. This is one that I'm optimistic about overall at the moment. However, since it is an Adidas product and not Nike, I won't have stock, which will be a pretty important contributor for this one when analyzed, since it is the first iteration of this model, but we should be able to gauge its potential much better as we approach the drop, so I'll keep you updated, of course. Now, moving on to the 7th for $110, the Dunk High Moon Fossil will be dropping. Unfortunately, demand is quite low for these, as it's been for a lot of Dunk High, but there should still be lunch money with a subpar margin to be made on larger sizes, 10 and up specifically, the bigger being the better. Then on the 8th for $130, the Dunk High Next Nature Pink Oxford will be dropping. Similar to the last pair we just discussed, unfortunately, demand on these is also very low, leaving only potential profit for sizes 11 and up if you do have no tax, and it'll still be a poor margin. Also on the 8th for $100 in men and $75 in grade school, we will be seeing the Jordan 1 Bred Toe. Regarding the men's sizes, I am expecting easy small profit on these with a decent margin. As for the grade school pairs, I'm still expecting some lunch money, but with a poor margin. Nothing really great here. Now, as for both of them, I do see a lot of potential for these being a long-term hold. Then on the 9th for $100, the Dunk Low Golden Gals Metallic Silver will be dropping. Demand looks really great at these for the moment, but of course, this will drop as we approach the release. I'd expect all sizes to be profitable with at least a decent margin, while size 10 and up will be the best, of course. Then on the 10th for $140, the Sakai Cause Blazer Low in purple now will be dropping. Although demand looks really high right now, of course, I'd expect these to perform very similar to what we just saw on the prior two colorways. Essentially, there should be easy lunch money to be made on these with a decent margin, especially on the larger sizes. However, I'd avoid the Cause website since they have been charging $30 for shipping, which really does suck. Moving on to the 11th, we have a very, very big day. First of all, we have the official drop for the long-awaited Jordan 11 Cool Gray for $225 and Grade School for $185. We already saw the shock drop for these in November. Shout out to everyone who follows my Twitter, KeithAdam10. You guys were notified instantly, and of course, all Endurance members who had all information well beforehand, just like all shock drops. While there was a whopping 98K stock for the men's pairs and 13K on the exclusive access drop a few days later, we still have the majority of stock to be released on the 11th. Yes, stock is absolutely huge on these, just like it was on the Bred 11s and the Concord 11s, but demand is also insane. This is a classic Jordan 11 that has not released in ages, since 2010 in fact. This is next level demand. With that said, I'm still expecting these to remain profitable with a decent margin, just nothing too crazy. Regardless, this is an easy money opportunity, and since the stock is so high, many of you will be able to get multiples, especially if you do have a bot. Just keep in mind, you're not going to see a great margin on these simply because of the really, really high stock, but regardless, that doesn't mean you can't make money on these. Furthermore, the grade school pairs will be $185, and those should still have lunch money with at least a subpar margin. Remember, the Gargantua AIO restock will be on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time via Gargantua _AIO on Twitter. More importantly, though, I think the majority of us can agree that we need personal pairs for these classic beauties. But wait, there's more. Also on the 11th for $80 each, we will be getting restocks for the Yeezy Foam Runner Ochre and MX Moon Gray, both of which will be very profitable with incredible margins. Then on the 13th for $60 each, we will be getting a restock of the Yeezy Slide Pure, as well as a release for the Yeezy Slide Ochre. This should not correlate with the Yeezy Slide restock that we're supposed to be seeing Monday, apparently, according to Yeezy Mafia, by the way. Anyway, both of these are still going to be very profitable with incredible margins, full throttle, of course, on both of these. Also on the 13th for $100, we should be seeing some skate shops release the SB Dunk Low Black. Expect all sizes to be profitable with a good margin. Then on the 15th for $140, we have the delayed Jordan 4 Where the Wild Things Are in grade school. Still, I am expecting at least lunch money with a decent margin on these for the larger size, specifically 5.5 and up. Nothing too crazy though. Also on the 11th for $110, the Dunk Low Next Nature Sequoia will be dropping. Demand is quite low on these. I'm only expecting about lunch money with a subpar margin at best for larger sizes 10 and up. And then on the 16th for $110 as well, the same exact situation goes for the Dunk Low Next Nature Winter Solstice as well as the White Sail colorway. Nothing too crazy for either of these, just potential lunch money on the very large sizes. Then on the 17th for $200 each, we will be getting a restock of the Yeezy 450 Dark Slate as well as the Yeezy 450 Resin. Expect both to be profitable with a good margin, while larger size 10 and up should maintain a great margin. Moving on to the 18th, we have another very big day. First, we have the Jordan 1 Handcrafted dropping for $170. Similar to most Jordan 1s that we have been seeing lately, I'm only expecting about lunch money for these with a subpar margin, with larger sizes being the best. Nothing too great, but still easy money to be made. But the real fun on this day derives from the Yeezy 350 Beluga Reflective. Although this release will be insanely high stock according to Yeezy Mafia, potentially as high as the Creams in 2019, similar to the Cool Gray 11s, the demand on these so high, being the first 350 V2 colorway and now in reflective, that I still believe these will be profitable with at least a good margin. Do not fear the high stock. This should still be an amazing opportunity to make good money. Also on the 18th, we should be seeing the Yeezy Basketball Knit Slate Blue drop for $350. We already saw this shock drop back on Yeezy Supply a few days ago, but the 18th will be the full release anyway. Regardless, definitely a personal only for these. They kind of break right after the Yeezy Supply drop. Then on the 22nd, we have another big day. First, the Jordan 1 Atmosphere Pink will be dropping for $170. I don't expect much for these, mainly just lunch money with a poor margin, larger sizes being the best. More importantly, on the 22nd, we also have the Yeezy 350 Blue Tint making its return finally for $220. These dropped in other regions in November, hence I included them in that November video as well, but this will be the main release for, of course, US and Europe. You guys know how much this shoe means to me. After that 24-hour live stream back in 2017 for the shoe, leave a comment down below if you are a part of that. Love you guys. Anyway, expect these to still be profitable with a good margin in all sizes under 7 being the best. Then on Christmas Day, the 25th, the Jordan 1 Bred Patent Leather will be dropping. This is a long anticipated release and is sure to be many people's grails. I myself certainly need one for the toe. Let me know if you guys agree. These will be $170, and you could certainly expect them to be very profitable with an incredible margin, full throttle without a doubt. Then on the 29th for $190, the Jordan 13 Court Purple will be dropping. These are mostly just a personal pair, unfortunately, unless you can sell locally. Then on the 30th for $190, the Jordan 5 Jade will be dropping. At best, I'm only expecting lunch money for these, with larger size being the best, but I will have to keep you guys updated as I'm not totally sure on these at the moment. Now, with those out of the way, now as for drops with no precise dates at the moment, we have the Yeezy Foam Runner MX Sand Gray for $80 releasing sometime in December. Expect these to be very profitable with an incredible margin. Then we also have the Yeezy 1050 High Res for $400. I'm not expecting much since the retail is $400. Probably going to be a personal only, but I'll have to keep you guys updated as I'm not really able to do a full analysis on this one yet. And finally, for today, we should also be seeing the Yeezy 700 V3 Copper Fade release for $200. Sadly, I don't believe this color will garner notable demand, just like a lot of the 700 V3s we've seen recently, so only expect lunch money with the largest size being the best. Of course, I'll keep you guys updated. Anyway, that will conclude it for today. Remember that the limited endurance restock will take place on December 3rd, Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 11:30 p.m. CET. The link and password will be tweeted from Endurance's Twitter. Also, don't forget to follow Gargantua's Twitter for the restock on December 5th. 5th, next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Like if you enjoyed, or perhaps if you learned a thing or two, subscribe to stay 100% updated on all these hyped releases and more. Also, feel free to check out the links in the description below for reliable, fast, residential proxies and verified Nike sneakers or Adidas accounts. Last but not least, make sure to follow Keith Adam 10 and Personals for You. This way you guys stay updated on all urgent info like I was discussing today. With that though, I will see you guys later. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Happy Thanksgiving to all, and good luck this next month. It is certainly the best month of the year.